Hello and welcome to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Grand Arena Championships Season 29, Week 2, Round 1. My name is Boma Fett. This is another GAC that I recorded while on vacation. Let's see who my opponent was. BigTuna. Let's go to the Hotbot for a quick comparison. The Hotbot report shows a bit more green on my side than red on BigTuna's side, but let's zoom in and take a closer look. The GAC stats show that BigTuna is an okay GAC player. 45k in the old system is okay, not great. Lifetime banner 737k. Again, that's okay. It shows that BigTuna at least participated, but maybe was not super into it. However, we do have a pretty high number here under undersized, over 1,000 undersized victories. So perhaps BigTuna is more of an efficiency player. Very unusual for me to find myself with the larger roster, but my overall GP is about 700,000 more than BigTuna. That said, BigTuna does have the higher top 80 GP, meaning that BigTuna does have a more top-heavy, more focused roster than I have. I've got nearly 40 more Zetas. So I think this is a case of BigTuna being a younger account, and I've been playing for longer. That's why I have a higher GP, that's why I have more Zetas. BigTuna has more Omnis than I have, but I have a little bit more speed at the top of the roster. BigTuna's got 28 more Gear 13 characters. So this is what I'm talking about here with a more focused top-heavy roster. 101 Gear 13, only 11 Gear 12, whereas I have 73 Gear 13 and 42 Gear 12. So when BigTuna takes a character up, they take them all the way up to Gear 13. I've got almost 50 more 6-dot mods, and I do have more mods with high-speed secondaries at most levels, but at the 25 plus, BigTuna has a few more. BigTuna has 505 total relic levels compared to my 322, again emphasizing how focused and top-heavy BigTuna's roster really is compared to mine. In the Galactic Legends, BigTuna has a 3-2 advantage, and according to GAC history, BigTuna does not put any Galactic Legends on defense. They save them all for offense. So I think what I'm going to try and do is put both of my GLs on defense and see if I can trap BigTuna. In addition to the GLs, BigTuna does have Starkiller, and I do expect to see Starkiller on defense, but they have not even unlocked Sortie. This is one of the reasons I added Sortie to this list, is I think it's going to be a really good team, but I also think this is the kind of character that more focused players are going to ignore. They're going to stay on track for their Galactic Legends or their other really high-powered characters like Starkiller, like Malgus, and Sortie will be an overlooked character, a character that stays at level 1, Gear 1, or in this case, doesn't even get unlocked. And we see that again here in the key characters with Bad Batch Echo, not even unlocked. So BigTuna is a very focused player, only levels up the characters that they plan on using immediately and takes them all the way up. In the important ships, both of us have the 7-star Executor, but BigTuna has a Relic 9 on Piet, and so he's got the faster Executor. So let's go back to the game and take a look at the board. So because I was on vacation at the time, I was doing my GACs in the middle of the night after my wife had gone to bed. So when I came in, I saw that BigTuna had cleared my front zone. And you can see one-shots against all 4 squads. You will notice I did put Jedi Master Kenobi here on defense, but without Commander Ahsoka Tano. I saved her for offense. In the back zone, I did set my Jedi Master Luke here. I was hoping to maybe trap him. Maybe if he would use all of his GLs in the front, he wouldn't have a GL for the back. That did not work. And you can see I also have Bounty Hunters and Dooku back here. In the top zone, he had not attempted any battles yet. So BigTuna came in, he cleared 5 squads, and then he stopped. and I really didn't expect him to get stuck on my squads, given that he saves all of his Galactic Legends for offense. Where I was hoping he might get stuck is here in the fleets with the Executor, and then Thrawn and Finalizer. In the bottom front zone, he set Maul, Mothma, Talzin, and Iden. And look at the relics on this Iden squad, and it has a Datacron. So we started off against Iden, and I hoped that my Wampa would still be able to do this, even with those relic levels and the Datacron. You can see the Datacron added tenacity and health, and whenever a dark side ally gains a buff, they recover health and protection. So Iden already has those recovery mechanics. This wasn't going to help them that much. I don't think this is a great Datacron for Iden. So I could have added a Datacron of my own to the Wampa. He is Relic 3, and so I could have put a Datacron on here, but I didn't. So we resisted the debuffs there. They are doing quite a bit of damage though, so I was worried here right at the beginning. They were really doing some damage. I went ahead and did protection up, and then I just hoped that I could survive long enough to ramp up my damage enough to kill them. So I'll go ahead and fast forward this. You can see that the Wampa does come fairly close to dying early on. And particularly when Iden attacks. Iden does a lot of damage. So they get my Wampa down into the yellow a few times, but I am able to ramp up damage and basically just one-shot them. So 78 banners there is a great way to start. Against Mon Mothma, I took in my own Iden, and of course the risk here is the relic Kyle Katarn, who can just one-shot my characters. So we stun Katarn to begin, and then of course Cara Dune is going to get her taunt fairly quickly, and then we're going to be stuck on Cara Dune. So I am slowly working on this Iden squad, trying to get my characters up to gear 12. But I am also working on SLKR, so it's a little bit lower priority for me to get these guys up there. I got Cara Dune down, and then I was able to put the Death Mark on Kyle Katarn and take out Kyle Katarn with the Death Mark, so he could not be brought back. Once Katarn was out, I wasn't really worried about my characters dying. There's just not the DPS on the other side. Mothma gets a lot of their DPS from assisting, and assisting actually heals the Iden squad. So 65 banners there. Next up was the Maul squad. And I went after Maul with Jedi Knight Revan. This is one of the few squads where I have the relic levels where I could add a Datacron. So this first Datacron has health steal and crit damage, and it actually is a level 5 Datacron, so I'm not going to get all of the effects. I'm only going to get the level 3 effects because Ezra and Kanan are only Relic 3. We marked Maul straight away. And we weren't able to get him down as quickly as I wanted. but we did get him down before he could do a whole lot of damage. So now Beskar Mando was in his Whistling Bird stance. I was able to get a stun on him. And he did get his Whistling Birds off, but didn't kill anybody. The armorer put the Beskar on Bo-Katan. I marked Beskar Mando and got rid of him. And at this point, I was feeling pretty secure. I wasn't worried about a Gear 11 Sabine being able to do much. She went down pretty quickly. Bo-Katan at Relic 5. She's a good support character, but she's not an offensive powerhouse. So now the question was, could I recover enough protection on a few of my characters to get back some of the banners that I had lost? And the answer was, yeah, sort of, 63. Against the Night Sisters, I used to use First Order with Watt. I actually love that counter. But I'm putting both First Order and Watt on defense, not together, but separately. So that means I need a new counter for the Night Sisters, and of course there's always the old classic Imperial Troopers. I almost feel like this is a waste using the Imperial Troopers here. But I'm wondering how the Asajj Ventress Omicron is going to affect this going forward. Because right now, troopers get turn meter when they kill a Night Sister. But with the Ventress Omicron, the Night Sisters are also going to get turn meter when a Night Sister dies. So that may mean that the troopers can't just run the table on the Night Sisters and prevent them from ever getting a turn. But there's no Omicron here yet, and so I was able to just wipe them out before they ever got a turn for a clean 65. So I was very pleased with how that zone went. In the back, we've got Starkiller, Grievous, and Darth Revan. So this is a really tough back zone. I've already used the Wampa, so I don't have Wampa for Grievous. I do have Gas for Darth Revan, and I've got my own Grievous for Starkiller. So I've only done this counter a few times, but so far it's been fairly reliable. Of course, they're going to get to go first. And then I go straight after Mara Jade. I got the target lock up on all of them, so that's going to get my turn meter train going. And I get Mara out pretty quickly. There's no Visas Mar here to worry about, so I go straight after Starkiller. And Starkiller goes down. And then Grievous just wipes them out with an AoE. Not great banners, but I'm fine with a 61 against that squad. Against DR, we're going to take General Skywalker. And we're going to add a Datacron here. Health, Steel, and Health. And you know how this goes. We do Tenacity up. We have to hit the Sith Empire Trooper, get rid of the taunt, and then switch over to Bastila. We don't AoE because we don't want to trigger the taunt from Malik. Marauder's going to get his extra turn from building up turn meter as I hit his companions. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get anybody down before his squad started going. So they're able to put General Skywalker down while their whole team is still standing. They immediately trigger the sacrifice, so now I have super clones. So that's pretty good. I got the super clones while they all still had protection. And Skywalker stood back up, able to get rid of Sith Empire Trooper, and then took out Malik on counterattacks. Then Bastila went down, Marauder went down, and goodbye Revan. So low banners, only 58, but a one-shot is still acceptable. Now against Grievous, I didn't have Wampa, I didn't have Jedi Knight Revan, so what am I going to do here? I take in Padme with Cat. I saved this squad just in case there was a Galactic Legend on defense. I put in Cody as the 5th, which is not ideal, but it's still okay. And I do have Relic 3s and above on all the characters, so I went through my Datacrons to find one that I thought would work well, and selected the 7.4% health. We had IG-88 on the other side, so we went after him first. Got him down very quickly, which triggered Grievous. Got the protection up and started going after B2. AoE from Cody took care of the B2. Counterattacking took care of the Magna Guard. And so now we just have the B1 and Grievous left. My squad has lost a lot of protection, but I get the insta-kill on Grievous, and now it's just working down the B1. Not great banners. 60 banners is all, but a one-shot is good. The top zone was not terribly threatening. We have a Tarkin squad, Darth Maul, Rolo with a Datacron, and Akbar. Now against Maul, I thought about using my Bad Batch, but after checking speeds, my Echo is not faster than his Dooku. My Echo's only gear 12. Once he's gear 13, he's going to be much faster. But at gear 12, he wasn't fast enough. So instead, I took in my Bounty Hunters. This is completely routine at this point. You roar. You do the mass assist. You do another mass assist. And there's your contract. Now, I had the Disintegrate, but the only one available was Cad Bane, so I just went ahead and took him out. Then Sidious was the only one available, so I had to go after Sidious. These Maul squads are kind of like playing whack-a-mole as they go into and out of stealth. It's nice having the Grief Cleanse there, able to get rid of those debuffs. So I kind of had to bounce around my attacks as they popped in and out of stealth. In watching this back, there were times where I think I probably should have used Aura Singh's stun more. I used Zam Wessel to pop the thermals when I could. But the nice thing about this Bounty Hunter squad is that they do recover health and protection fairly quickly because of the Aura Sing lead. So each time you're defeating an enemy, you are recovering protection. So we got it down to just Sidious. Got everybody healed all the way up, and then goodbye Sidious. 65 banners there. Against the Rolo squad, I decided to take in CLS. And this is another squad where I could add a Datacron. So I only had level 1 Datacrons left at this point. And I decided to take in the Potency Datacron. I figured I didn't need Health Steal with the way that they recover health and protection, but the Potency would allow me to stun more reliably. So took out Rolo with the opening barrage, but then Captain Han brought her back. So we got rid of her again, and then took out Captain Han. Next we went after Biggs, tried to stun him and didn't get the stun, so he got his bonus attacks. But we were able to take him out, and again we've got that protection recovery on this squad. So even though they did get some attacks against me, I still finished with 65 banners. Next up was the Akbar squad. And what better to take out rebels than the Empire? And I swapped out the TIE Fighter pilot for Moff Gideon. I probably didn't need either one. Took Vader directly into Merciless. Got rid of Ezra. Got rid of Akbar. Force Crush on SRP. Goodbye Leia. Goodbye R2. And all we have left is the tank. So I definitely did not need the full squad here. I could have gone undersized and gotten back a few banners. But you know, sometimes it's just fun to play with this squad. So another 65 there. And last we have Tarkin. I had my choice of Mothma, Bad Batch, Jedi Training Rey. So after checking speeds, I determined my Bad Batch Echo would get to go first. So I took in the Bad Batch. They didn't have any buffs to rip away, which meant that I didn't get any kind of TM boost from the first move. But it didn't really matter. They only had one character that was fast enough to get a turn. That was the TIE Fighter pilot. And then I had them all completely stunned, and I could just go to town using the true damage to get rid of pretty much everybody. So even after the taunt from the Royal Guard, it didn't matter because all of my attacks were going to essentially become AoEs. So I could just keep attacking Royal Guard, and it would take everybody else out as well. So one more 65 there. And I was very pleased with a 1400 going into the fleet zones. And in the fleets, no Executor. He saved his executor for offense, so we have Malevolence, Home 1, and Mace Windu. So I went after the Malevolence first with my Negotiator fleet. This is a little flashback to the old days of the fleet arena. They got their buzz droids out very quickly, and I just focused down on the Hyena Bomber. Tried to put the buff immunity on Sunfac to keep him from taunting so that I could continue to focus on the Hyena Bomber. Got a big hit from 5s, and Hyena went down pretty quickly. Pretty happy with that. Unfortunately, they were able to take out my Y-Wing pretty quickly. So I brought in Plo Koon to clean off the buzz droids, to heal up my Anakin. And Plo Koon for the win, 69 banners. Not the greatest banners, but I'm okay with that. I could have gone in a little bit more short-handed, left off a couple of those reinforcements, but better safe than sorry. Against the Home 1, I took in my Malevolence. Now the hope here is that they will not focus down the Hyena Bomber, and I'll be able to bring in my Spy at the first opportunity and target the Millennium Falcon and get rid of the Falcon. But I start off going after the Y-Wing because you don't want the shield disruptor from the Y-Wing. And there it is, they got it on the Hyena Bomber. So I was very concerned at this point. I was able to get the buzz droids on their tanks, but not on the Falcon. And finally, I get my Spy in. And we focus down the Falcon, but didn't quite get rid of him. So luckily, he did not get cleansed right away, so we were able to continue focusing on him for a little while. But then he gets the cleanse, and now we're in trouble. I haven't taken out anybody. They've taken out my Sunfac. They're getting in their reinforcements. Things are just not going well. Thankfully, they take out vulture droids instead of my main droids. And I finally get their Y-Wing out. But they're really close to getting my Hyena Bomber out. We're able to get down Biggs. And we put the buzz droids on the 2 Phoenix ships. And there goes my Hyena. So this was quite a rough battle for me here. Finally, I get my ultimate. This allows me to target the Falcon. I'm finally able to get rid of the Falcon. And then the 2 Phoenix ships go down pretty quickly. So it was a win, but it was a really rough win. 62 banners. And against the garbage Mace fleet, I took in my own rebels. I decided to only take 2 reinforcements here. That was probably too much, to be honest. And you'll notice he has Clone Sergeant in the starting lineup. Clone Sergeant does not taunt when in the starting lineup. The taunt is part of the reinforcement ability. So don't make that mistake. Always make the Sergeant a reinforcement. I went after the Sith Bomber. I landed the Shield Disruptor. And used the AoE to take out Rex. Then took out the Sith Bomber. He brought in the First Order Shuttle, so interesting reinforcement there, but clearly not leveled up. So I brought in Cassian. We got rid of the shuttle. And then there's a taunt from the Clone Sergeant. So Mace's ship does have an ability that will give him the taunt, but this late into the battle, it's kind of pointless. And with him being the only ship on the field, it's kind of pointless. So we get rid of the Clone Sergeant and 75 banners. Finally, a decent banner win there. So 1825 was my final. I was definitely worried I had lost too many banners on the fleets. So I'd have to come back later to see what BigTuna did against the rest of my defense. So there it is. He cleared the back. One shot against each of the other 2 remaining squads here. But then he got to the top zone, and he had to 2-shot dash, and then failed twice against Beskar Mando, and gave up. So the final score was 1825 to 1077. I'd like to thank BigTuna for the match, and thank you all for watching. I will see you next round.